Next Generation Meteorologist Joe Shock here from Patreon.com and YouTube. Going to be doing a tropical update for July 24th, 2021. And things are pretty quiet, but we do have an area of disturbed weather off the southeast coast, which it's going to be a challenge to get this developed, but you never do know, especially small systems, and you'll see that here in just a few minutes. Certainly could be able to pull a tropical depression, maybe even a low-grade tropical storm. So as always with these more of an overview situation, not really dealing with a full-blown storm, and we don't need to put any tracks out, but I like to do these overviews and set things up going down the road. And we always, pretty much when we do these videos, we always have the same thing. We look at the MJO and we look at the large-scale patterns that are going around the globe, and we can figure out what will be coming along down the road by doing this. So again, it's more of a brief overview, hopefully, short videos here. No more than 5 or 6 minutes. But anyway, here's the MJO from the European weeklies. We're in phase 5-6 now. We're going to be remaining in phase 6 through the next couple of days. And then as we end the month of July and begin the month of August, coming into the null phase and then milling around in the null phase. And then looks like down the road, depending on what modeling exactly look at, could be getting into the more of these favorable phases, 8, 1, 2, and 3, as we get into the middle and latter half of the month of August, which will increase the likelihood of more robust tropical development in the Atlantic basin. And some people ask me why I don't do the East Pacific. Well, again, most of the time East Pacific storms don't impact anyone, and I'm only one person. I can only cover so much of an area at once. But nevertheless, phase 8, 1, 2, and 3 does seem to be in the cards for the latter half of the month of August. So you can see that here when you get into phase 8 and 1, you favor the Gulf of Mexico, and then phase 2 and 3 again are those hyperactive phases. Now, this feature that's in the Gulf, well, I don't really think this is going to develop, because you can see here phase 6 and 7, even phase 4 and 5. These are negative phases for tropical development where this feature is located. So I think it's going to have a lot of uphill battles to fight, including some dry air, a lot of sinking motion, just really not a good favorable background development. But again, however, it is a small system, and small systems can work around these larger scale inhibitors. So we'll see, exactly how that works out. One thing that's certainly not an inhibitor, the ocean temperatures, and even if they were cooler than normal, still the Gulf of Mexico is going to be plenty warm enough to support tropical development in the peak of the hurricane season. So anyway, you can see the MDR is recovering nicely, very, very warm in the Northwest Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, for the most part above normal, just tad, I guess, at or below normal temperatures around much of Florida, but still, again, you're talking mid-80s. It doesn't really matter if you're 82 or you're 84, 85. Plenty of fuel to support tropical cyclones. And with this being quieter than normal, even through the main development region, it's going to be interesting to watch this area, as things could get very interesting, with this pressure pattern that's developing, that this could be more favorable as we head down the road later into the peak of the season, late August, and through the month of September and October. But nevertheless, this Northwest Atlantic, very, very warm. So this is a pretty favorable look for things to develop, north of 20, 25 north or so, especially north of 30 north, which you can see right there. But overall, things are pretty much above normal regarding the anomalies. Now, actual ocean temperatures look like this. This 26-degree line is 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 26 Celsius. You can see that this is pretty much up to 35 to 40 north. In the Northwest Atlantic, we've got some 27, some 28s at 40 north here. So really impressive. And again, of course, the Gulf of Mexico, 28, 29 Celsius. So pretty much we're talking mid-80s and through here, 83 to 85 degrees. And maybe even some isolated patches of 30 C, 86-degree water showing up here as well on the south side of Cuba, and then here in the central Gulf of Mexico. But overall, the Atlantic basin is charged and ready to go. Now, the vertical velocity pattern from the JMA, this is week 1. Again, you can see kind of a neutral phase here, not too much blue or not too much yellow and orangey, but still there is some substance in this part of the world. You can see the precipitation anomalies, kind of around normal or even a little bit above normal. Interesting, it has this feature, some feature heading out. I don't think this is going to turn around and head out, but I guess you could say, I never know. I think this is going to come a little bit further to the west in time over the next couple of days. And then there's the 500 millibar pattern with the troughing that's over the eastern part of the United States. Maybe that's why it thinks it's going to go up. Maybe it will get picked up by this trough and take it out. But anyway, week 2, you can see the sinking motion quite robust over the central and western part of the Atlantic Basin. The rainfall pretty much below normal for much of the MDR. Some enhancement though near the equator. You can see there off of Africa, maybe there's a wave that comes across, but is overall suppressed. And there's the 500 millibar pattern with the troughingness over the northeastern part of the United States and some ridging over the northeastern Atlantic right in through there. Then week 3 and 4, things are going to try to change around, but still with this upward motion over the Western Pacific, that could be some interesting typhoon activity that continues over the next couple of weeks, and that could be an inhibitor for the Atlantic. So we'll have to see how that works out, and then you can see the neutral look at 500 millibars. So there's the feature. I guess that is the feature that the JMA is seeing, a non-tropical feature, but nevertheless a feature heading out. But there's the feature, a 90L off the southeast coast that propagates west over the next couple of days. I think it's going to have a really hard time becoming anything substantial, but certainly some heavy rain and some gusty showers for Florida and parts of the eastern Gulf over the next couple of days. And then take a look at the weeklies here. This is going out days 10 to 25, I believe. Hour 432 is about 25 days away. So as we get into almost the second week of August, you can see there's some idea of maybe some tropical system off the East Coast during that time frame. And then here is the climatology for that same period. You can see pretty much we do see some activity in the Northwest Atlantic, about a 5% probability of a strike based on model climatology as we get into the first half of August. You can see, you start picking up things coming off the continent of Africa and then propagating to the west and northwest. But that's pretty interesting to see that enhanced area there, that enhanced area showing up there, and then yet again there in the climatology. So that could be interesting as we work our way through the next couple of weeks here and through the month of August. So with all that looked at, my tropical development favorability or unfavorability, I guess, depending on how you look at it, is, I guess I would call it favorable, in the central and western Atlantic, and then of course the MDR shut down over the next couple of weeks. So things are going to be relatively quiet as we get our way into the first half of the month of August. So that's it for now, and thank you for watching.